All right, welcome to another episode of Area 11. My name is Kyle Keka, alongside my awesome co-host, Mr.
Matt. What's up, guys? How you doing? How you doing?
All right,
Doing good.
so we are back for a music bracketology. Uh, I don't know how many brackets we've done so far. We've done quite a bit, but this bracket is going to be centered on The Weeknd, Canadian legend, superstar. He's been in the worldwide consciousness for several years now, and well deserved. He's a fantastic singer. He's made a lot of great songs, been a lot of great features, and we're gonna kind of debate some of his 16 songs. So to help Matt and I out, we have two very special guests, two friends of the show, Mr. Josh Bragg and Mr. Zach Alio. What's up, guys? How's it going?
It's great to be here.
Doing great. Great to be here again.
Excellent, excellent. So for those of you who have not watched Area 11 yet, the way that these brackets work is we have 16 songs. In this case, it's going to be for The Weeknd, and we have them in a March Madness kind of like Sweet 16 style bracket where we debate 16 of the songs that we think are some of that artist's greatest songs. We'll kind of like go throughout the bracket, why, what song was chosen over which song, like why that happened, stuff like that. And then we'll just share all four of ours. So without further ado, um, let's have Zach share his bracket first because Zach has not been on the show yet.
Awesome.
So let's go through.
Alrighty. I got to give a little shout out to Josh because
I knew it.
Yeah, I had to. So little backstory, me and Josh were roommates in 2018, and then I kind of like went to his house or apartment multiple times throughout the years and stuff like that. But I liked The Weeknd before 2018, before that year. I listened to some of his stuff and other albums. Starboy was probably the first album I really listened to before that. And Beauty Behind the Madness in high school. But when I met Josh, I found out that he's got so much more music than just those two albums. So I do owe a lot of sharing the light for me from Josh, and I appreciate that. So I don't know if he's gonna, I don't know if he's gonna agree with any of these picks. They might be good, might be bad, but we will see. So you can obviously see I got the blinding lights. We'll get to that later. But we'll start with the first one with the number one seed, Blinding Lights, and then 16, I Was Never There. I really can't knock Blinding Lights out in the first round. I'd probably get hate mail for that.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, it wouldn't be good.
Pitchforks would be coming out.
Yeah, it's a good song. We've heard on the radio for about a year and probably a couple months now. So it's a classic. So obviously it moved on. Next we have High for This and In Your Eyes. Both really good songs. In Your Eyes got a remix also. But I got to go with the trilogy classic, High for This. So I moved that one on too. Awesome Loft Music. Now Loft Music was one of the first songs from the trilogy era that I really liked. And I only found out later that one of my other favorite bands, Beach House, was featured on it. They were sampled. So to me, it's a really personal song. It's very chill. You can pregame with it if you want. Nothing too crazy like some of the Weeknd's more newer stuff. But unfortunately, often it's too good. It's The Weeknd bragging about his life, probably the peak life. He's talking about drugs, sex, all that. All the women he's been with. It's one of those songs where you just listen to it and you feel great about yourself. So unfortunately, Loft Music did not make that round. So next we have Reminder in the Hills. The Hills is probably the first song I ever heard from The Weeknd, and I feel like for a lot of people that might be it too. That's probably when he became mainstream with Beauty Behind the Madness. And but it goes up against Reminder, and I only got into Reminder I think 2019 when I found it. And the music video is one of my favorite videos from him, like all time too. It's got so many famous people, so many famous rappers.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's endless. And it's kind of him bragging about being in LA finally, leaving Toronto and all that. And I just love the vibe. So definitely like that one song. So moved it on. Then we got over to the right side. We got Call Out My Name and King of the Fall. Call Out My Name is a really good song. And, obviously it's the 50 Shades franchise with that. He really did a good song with that one. But King of the Fall is another song I found out probably around 2019 also. and I had to illegally download that off, my computer and put on my phone because
You rebel.
Yeah, well, yeah. I told Josh this, and he knows. He had it on his laptop too. It's just it wasn't available for like public, listen. You had to go on YouTube and listen to it that way, and eventually you get tired, so you just download it. And then I think it was this past fall he finally released it on Spotify and Apple Music and all that. So I deleted the old file finally, so that was nice. But yeah, King of the Fall for me is it's such a good song. So Call My Name was great, but I had to move it up. Next we have Kiss Land Party Monster. Party Monster I think it's a good song, but to me it's kind of a little bit basic. It's kind of simple. I mean, you can listen to it like in the club or something like that, while you're drinking with your friends or whatever, but it's good. And I think from the whole Starboy album, it kind of reflects that whole quality. And I don't think it's a bad album. I just think it's okay. It's not great. It's probably a 7 for me. But it goes up against Kissland. And Kissland I didn't get into until, the Weeknd kind of went back to that and did a promo for it. I think it was sometime right after he released After Hours last year. So when I'd be driving up between Bloomington and Springfield, I'd be listening to that album for a little bit. And Kissland, the title track of it was just so good. It's almost like 2 songs mixed together, and the second part to me is just it kind of reminds me of King of the Fall a little bit. It really amplifies after that, and it's the Weeknd talking about his life after kind of becoming famous. So I really like that one. Gonna speed up a little bit. We got The Morning and Low Life. Low Life is great with Future. Love the two of them together. But to me, The Morning is just one of those songs from Trilogy that I love, and I think it's an absolute classic from him. I mean, to me, it's a pretty perfect song from him. So Morning went on. Pray For Me and Sidewalks, 2 Kendricks. So it's kind of tough. But Sidewalks, it kind of grew on me a little bit. So I wanted to pick that one, but Pray For Me is just too perfect. Kind of like a feature. Yeah, it's gels well, and obviously it came from the Black Panther album, which is also amazing. Kendrick produced that one, so just a good song. So I moved that one up. So now we're getting to the really good songs. Got Blinding Lights versus High for Us. Like I said, I'm gonna get pitchforks and angry mail, so I had to move Blinding Lights up. It's a good song. It's a classic one, so I moved that one up.
We're just tired of hearing it. That's all.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. Then we have Often, Reminder. Like I said, I love Reminder, but Often's too good, so we had to go with that one. King of the Fall versus Kissland. Kissland's good, but like I said, I love King of the Fall. I think it's one of his better songs, kind of like The Morning. So I moved that one up. And then we got The Morning versus Pray For Me. Morning, obviously, had to move that one up too. So now with my final 4, I got Blinding Lights versus Often. And I had to, it's number 1 single, The Weeknd has a great year. Had to move that up again. Often's great, from 2015, but nothing can beat Blinding Lights right now. So then we go to King of the Fall versus The Morning. This is probably the toughest pick between the two for me. I kind of debated back and forth, moving The Morning into it and the King of the Fall back and forth. And they're 2 different moods. The Morning is very chill, relaxed, and King of the Fall is kind of the opposite. You got the Weeknd in Toronto bragging about his life again, like often. So I did King of the Fall for there. And then, ultimately, I had to finally knock off Blinding Lights. It's a good song. It's a great song. I've said that 50 times apparently. But at the end of the day, I think a song that kind of sums up the Weeknd overall between his unknown status and his almost getting to LA status from Toronto would be King of the Fall. I think he vibes so well there. It's kind of like a mix between R&B and rapping a little bit. And the music video for that one is also amazing. I think it's probably top 2 for me with Reminder.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, definitely King of the Fall is my top song. So
interesting. Okay.
Righty.
Yeah.
My bracket's going to be a lot different than Zach's.
I expected that. Yeah.
Still good though. I mean, you can never go wrong with the Weeknd. He's a great artist.
Yeah.
Josh, want to go next?
Alrighty. So I will share mine, but first I want to say, Zach, I thought you did a really good job there. That was
Thank you.
Very thorough, and I thought it was a great breakdown. And
trying to impress you, it worked apparently.
It did work. I thought that was really good. So
yeah.
Bravo. But now it's time for my brackets. And so there it is. If you want to observe it a little bit first. So I don't want to sound like I'm just the best person ever, but I've been a fan of The Weeknd for the longest time, and everyone like I like to think, and whenever my friends think of The Weeknd, like they picture me in their head. Um, and for some reason, people only think I listen to The Weeknd, which is not true.
I thought it was
Plenty
true.
of different artists. It just so happens that every top song on like my library is The Weeknd and whatnot. But we don't have to get into that. Basically, he's my favorite artist, and he has been for a long time. First song I heard by him was probably Crew Love back in like
Oh, great song.
great
Oh, yeah.
song. Actually used to be just the Weeknd song, but
I was gonna bring that up when it was my turn. Took it from
yeah.
me.
Yeah, so it's been crazy to see him. He's always been popular pretty much, but it's been crazy to see him emerge to like Super Bowl popular. So just heading into this bracket, we'll start with Blinding Lights versus I Was Never There. Like Zach said, it would be blasphemous if we didn't pick Blinding Lights at least in one round, since it is literally the like biggest hit song ever. Not that it's the best song ever, but it's like the biggest hit ever in terms of it's led the charts for literally like 70 months, like whatever months, 48. Wait, 70, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's like 6 years.
Like
Yeah.
18 months or whatever it's been, 20 months. It's just been
Been a long
dominating the
time.
charts. It's still in like the top 10 or whatever. I don't know when it's ever going to leave the Hot 100, if it ever does. It is the definition of a hit song. It's eclipsed even The Hills and Starboy and Can't Feel My Face. It's just his biggest song ever, so it has to at least make it out of that first round. But I Was Never There. In terms of My Dear Melancholy in general, I wasn't the biggest fan when it came out. Like I still loved it, but like if I had to rank it, it'd be lower. But it's really been growing on me over the past couple of years. But yeah, Blinding Lights, I has to win at least one round, because even though I'm tired of hearing it every single day, it's popular for a reason, and I really liked it when it first came out. I remember I actually downloaded it a few days before it officially came out. It was just like this really low quality version, but it got leaked, and yeah. So yeah, it's awesome.
Okay.
But moving on to the next matchup, we got High for This versus In Your Eyes. Both obviously incredible songs. In Your Eyes is a radio hit. It's the one that it's got that, forgot the name of the instrument. It's got the
Saxophone.
saxophone. It's got the saxophone, and like Zach said, it's got a couple of remixes as well. The one with Kenny G is really good.
I love the one with Doja Cat.
I like the music video too, or not the music video, but the like VMA performance. I really liked. Music video is kind of weird. But I went for High for This because I just really, that song is just, it just puts you in like an atmosphere of just like, this is what The Weeknd is all about. It's from Trilogy 2, so it's one of the OGs. And yeah, this one's just moving on for me because I feel like I haven't seen live performances, but I've seen recorded versions of live performances, and this one I feel like is really good to see live. And then moving on to the next matchup, we got Often versus Loft Music. Loft Music, which is Kyle's favorite song.
Why would you?
I should have spoiled it.
Maybe not. I have no idea how you.
We don't know. We don't know.
You can change it now.
But the reason why I picked Often, first of all, is because Often's like incredible, so it's gonna win no matter what. But it's the small problem with Loft Music is that the outro is just like, it's the length of this podcast that we just did. Like it lasts a long time. That outro is just so long, and it can be awesome to have in the background. But if I'm looking for like a song per se, like, I can't just like play it at a party because they're just going to be hearing these moans in the background. So it's awesome. The Loft Music is great, but Often just incredible. It's just the music video too is awesome. And again, I keep talking about the atmosphere that it puts you in. Often just like, it basically builds off of High for This even more. So we'll get into that more later. But then we have Reminder versus The Hills. The Hills, everyone's heard that song basically, and it's really popular for a reason. Again, there's just kind of like some song fatigue there. I've heard it so much. It's still awesome. It's a banger. But Reminder is just, it's kind of like just a follow-up version of King of the Fall. And that, again, that music video is awesome. And Reminder it reminds me of when I first came into college as a college freshman. That's what it reminds me of, and it's awesome. So moving on to the right side of the bracket, we've got Call Out My Name versus King of the Fall. And I don't remember if this is the first time Zach saw it, but I remember showing me and my roommates that music video to King of the Fall. And yeah, when I first saw it, it was a while ago, but I feel like that's a song that not many people know about because it wasn't on any album or anything, and it's kind of hard to find. But that song came out in like 2014, and it's just one of his best songs. Like I didn't have it making my final, but honestly, if I had to pick off of these 16 songs, I think it'd be like third or something. So yeah, King of the Fall, Call My Name is awesome, and but it's just no match for King of the Fall. Like that song is just goated. So Kissland versus Party Monster. This is a huge first round matchup. It's kind of like the Nuggets and the Lakers here. But at the end of the day, Kissland has LeBron James, and it's gonna pull out this first round dub. Like again, like Zach said, there's like two parts of this song. And a little personal aside for me from this is that I've only smoked a weed once in my life. And the one time that I did, I listened to this song. And
of course you did.
Yeah, and I just
that's the most Josh thing I think I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, so that's what this song reminds me of. And that was just like you know, it's a first timer. That was an out of body experience. And I think Kissland really kicked that off because it's just like it's like you're going on a voyage. Where it's just like it's like an out of body experience with that song. It just feels like you're ascending. So it's that second half that really gets to you. The first half is great, but the second half feels like you're entering the depths of hell, basically. I've seen that as like a YouTube comment.
Lovely.
It's not my words, YouTube comment. I've seen that. So yeah, Kissland for me is another song that a lot of people probably haven't heard before, but if you haven't listened to it, just like King of the Fall, I recommend checking it out. And yeah, so Kissland, awesome. Then we got The Morning versus Low Life. Low Life, I know Kyle really likes that one. I think Matt might too. It reminds me of my senior year of high school because that's when it really got popular. And it's an awesome, chill, but you know, like kind of you can play it at a party as well. This is an awesome song. Future's got a great verse on there, and that's why it can't really win here because it's not even his song. Even though if The Weeknd's your feature, like it is his song, but the Future's good enough.
He's got a pretty big part on that song, though.
Yeah, Future's big enough on that song for it to be his. And The Morning is just it's another trilogy classic, and it's you know, it is what you play up when you wake up in the morning and you're just hungover from the night before. So yeah, that's what The Morning is. And then we get to the Kendrick matchup. I love how it worked out that way. I didn't set it up like having that in mind, but yeah, Pray For Me versus Sidewalks. I feel like Sidewalks is the more popular choice here, but I went with Pray For Me because I just love that song. I love the build up at the beginning of the song where you know, the vocals in the background are just awesome, and you know, it's a part of the Black Panther soundtrack. I feel like that's aging really well, especially in light of Chadwick Boseman, may he rest in peace. Pray For Me is it's just awesome, and now it has, you know, even more of a emotional impact as well. But yeah, Pray For Me has to win that one there, even though Sidewalks is also really good. Again, it's really hard to narrow this whole thing down to 16 songs, and there's a lot left off here that I could talk about for hours. But we're moving on to our Elite Eight here. Blinding Lights versus High for this. Get your pitchforks ready. I picked High for this. I've been going on too long. I don't want to get too much into it, but I've just heard Blinding Lights too much. This is what I want to hear more right now. Blinding Lights is amazing, but even though I think High for this is still a better song though. It's just yeah, Blinding Lights. It's really good for the radio when you're driving around in the car, whatnot, and it's super popular because it's just, you know, it's an elite song. But High for this, for me, that just defines The Weeknd more, even though he's fit a number of different descriptions and roles. But High for this is just like classic, like wow, that's just The Weeknd. Then Often versus Reminder. I went with Often because basically everything I said about High for this applies to Often, except Often is just like, I feel like a more superior sound, and it just captures that essence even greater. And the music video is just is so much fun too. It's more like sexually explicit, but it's just yeah, it's I love it. King of the Fall versus Kissland. This one was probably the toughest matchup of the bunch. This is kind of like Loyola versus Illinois in terms of they got screwed by the committee here.
I love the analogies that you're having
Putting this
for
in the second round.
basketball.
Yeah.
Basketball on the weekend.
I went with Kissland because I already went into why I love Kissland. At the end of the day, I had to choose one of these. King of the Fall would be my third ranked song. I'd get the bronze medal, but Kissland is just it's cheating because it's like two songs in one. But that one pulls out the victory there. Again, if you haven't listened to either of those songs, highly recommend checking it out. And then we got the Morning versus Pray for Me. I honestly forgot which one I picked here because this is the weaker side of the bracket. I went with the Morning because it's the Morning. It's really good. Pray for Me is just not that tier. So that's that for that. High for This versus Often. I already went over it. Often is basically just an upgraded version to my mind. It actually has a music video alongside it. And then Kissland versus The Morning. Kissland is just a euphoric experience. And then this was actually really tough. Often versus Kissland. At the end of the day, I had to go with Kissland. It's kind of carrying the weight of the entire album on it. And that may be my favorite album of the weekend, even though it's the least popular. Often it's carrying Beauty Behind the Madness, and I have to give a shout out to that because of my March Madness bracket, but that wins pretty often. I just came up with that.
We know.
Get it? It wins pretty often. I just came up with that. Wow.
You're so clever. Good job.
Thank you. There was no foresight in that whatsoever. But yeah, Kissland takes the dub here because Kissland is the greatest song of the weekend. So sorry if I went on too long. That's my bracket.
All right. Yeah, this is making me very anxious to show mine because mine is completely different than the other two. So, Matt, why don't you go next?
Oh crap!
This is gonna
be way different.
This is gonna, yeah. I mean, because I think we all know. I mean, Josh and Zach are like the resident like Weekend experts, and now Matt and I are over here like, yeah, we like the Weekend.
I'm here.
Yeah, we like them.
But here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yep. It's a different era.
Let's get upset.
It's a different era.
No. How you guys feel about? I just feel this song is overplayed, and I've gotten sick and tired of it.
Yeah, no, it's understandable.
So I was never there coming out. High for This and In Your Eyes. In Your Eyes. Often and Loft Music. Like everybody said before me, Often is a classic. Come on now. You can't.
Come on now.
Reminder in the Hills. Man, oh man, like Zach said, I think obviously I heard the audio first, and then the music video came out after the fact. Obviously,
yeah.
But man, that music video was just ridiculous. And I guess like the Weeknd already I feel like with his music, he already sets off like a certain tone, a certain vibe. But like I think one thing of having all those cameos appearing in music video was like over the top, but just like the overall like theme and vibe that it had with it, like all the shots were in slow motion. It was, the entire music video wasn't bright, kind of had like a dark theme to it, but you know what I'm saying, it was real nice, man. Call Out My Name and King of the Fall, these two were pretty hard because I think King of the Fall, like everybody mentioned before, is a real classic. Call Out My Name is a classic as well, but I just think that out of what I have so far, I needed, like, I think this kind of falls into like obviously like the love, you know, emotions, and so I needed to have a nice blend in this bracket. So I got that coming out, and then Kissland, Party Monster. I think it I don't know. I think Zach might have mentioned it, but I think it really does kind of makes up what Starboy was as an album. And it really gave that real electric, high energy type feel to it. So I got Party Monster coming out. The Morning and Low Life. Man, oh man. Now we already did a future bracket, but we had to bring it back for the one time.
Yes, sir.
Low
Great
Life,
song.
Like Kyle said in a previous podcast, that future album, Evil, magnificent. And I think like
it goes hard for sure.
Hearing like, I guess like, I mean, cause everybody knows what features sound like, but I think like having The Weeknd on as a feature, but primarily on the hook, it kind of brought out a new side of the Future. I felt like, and just it gave like the overall whole song just a real different feel. Something that I think it kind of made both artists kind of step out their comfort zone and try something new. So I like that a lot. Pray for Me and Sidewalks. Come on now, Pray for Me. Black Panther album. Shout out to TDE. Shout out to Kendrick. Song is a banger. Back to top left. I Was Never There in Your Eyes. I got In Your Eyes. Often verse Reminder. You know what I'm saying? Such a reminder. Call Out My Name and Party Monster. I got Party Monster and Low Life and Pray For Me. You see, right now I really couldn't do the wrong because both of these songs, The Weeknd was the feature, so I you know what I'm saying, it was a toss up, but I had to go Low Life because, like I said, Low Life is fire. Final four: In Your Eyes with Reminder. I got Reminder because, like I said, song is fire. Party Monster and Low Life. I was super close to choosing Low Life, but this is not a Future bracket. This is a Weeknd bracket.
Exactly.
So I had to go Party Monster. And then the championship, we got Reminder versus Party Monster. And as you can see, I chose Reminder. This song was already a threat when it was released, but The Weeknd blessed us with a remix. And God, now I know the remix is on the list, but God, it's really hard to have both the original and the remix fire. And honestly, Reminder is one of those songs where you can put on both the remix and the original, and it'll still knock. But like I said, for the purpose of the bracket and what we do here at Area 11, I got Reminder as my winner. Yes, sir.
Alrighty, that's a very respectable choice.
Starboy.
Thank you.
The battle of Starboy songs. Yeah, my bracket is definitely closer to Matt's. I think Matt and I definitely agree on some more of these here. So I'm gonna share mine. And voila. All right. So
I knew it.
Yeah, you spoiler.
I spoiled it.
When you said Loft Music, I was like, come on, Josh. Are you kidding me right now?
I get so on top of people trying to I don't want people to spoil Falcon the Winter Soldier for me and whatnot.
Oh my God, you're crazy about that.
Here I go spoiling Loft Music and everything else in the world. So
oh man,
I'm such a hypocrite. I apologize.
Nah, I'm just kidding. All right, I think we all knew that it might have been Loft Music anyway. So all right, so I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Blinding Lights is a better song than I Was Never There, regardless of what Matt says. High for This taking on In Your Eyes. So honestly, I like the Doja Cat remix better. I love Doja Cat. I think she's great. But I would still keep the original In Your Eyes over High for This. I think they're both very good songs. But
would you take the original In Your Eyes over the Kenny G one, or would you take the Kenny G one?
That's a tough one.
Kenny G.
Yeah, I might have to take Kenny G on that one, but you know, I still like the original more anyway. Often versus Loft Music. So this one was actually harder than you'd think. I love Loft Music, but I love Often. They're both very vibey songs. I think Often has a lot more bass, and Loft Music is definitely more subdued. But I kind of put myself in the mindset of which one would I listen to if I was in my field the most, because that's kind of how I judge some Weeknd songs, and I'd have to go with Loft Music. It is a beautiful song. Reminder versus The Hills. Reminder just goes hard, and that's arguably Starboy's best song. I got None But Love for The Hills, but Reminder is better than The Hills.
Or The Hills. It hasn't won a single matchup.
That's true.
We all just got tired of it. We all just
got tired of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like what Matt said, the remix for Reminder is fantastic as well. So, but I mean, even the original just goes hard. Yeah. Call Out My Name versus King of the Fall. I like King of the Fall, but I think Call Out My Name I've probably listened to more, and I like that song a lot when it came out. So I got to go with Call Out My Name. Kissland versus Party Monster. I'm a huge Party Monster fan. This would give Reminder challenges for best song from Starboy. I love Party Monster. I've listened to it more than Kissland. I have None But Love for Kissland as well, but Party Monster to me takes the cake. The Morning versus Low Life. Shout out Future, shout out Weeknd. Great combination. They balance out each other so very well. So I got to go with Low Life. And then Pray For Me versus Sidewalks. This was actually very tough. I love both of these songs. The issue with Sidewalks is that I think Kendrick's verse on that is not very good. And I think Pray For Me is a more encompassing song. Yeah, I like really and he like Kendrick's my favorite rapper of all time, and he has to go do that. So yeah, I got to go with Pray For Me. So on to the Elite Eight, Blinding Lights versus In Your Eyes. I think Blinding Lights is a very good song, but In Your Eyes is better. Loft Music versus Reminder. This one was extremely tough. But Loft Music grinds it out again. I just kind of put myself in the perspective of if I want to listen to The Weeknd, which Weeknd do I want? And I want Loft Music Weeknd. Call Out My Name versus Party Monster. I got Party Monster. It's more of a kind of get you going, kind of more versatile song. Call Out My Name is just kind of a song. Like it's a very good song, but it's kind of like kind of if you're sad, stuff like that. So I got to go with Party Monster. It's a great song to pregame too as well. And then Low Life versus Pray For Me. Both very good songs, obviously. But I got to go with Low Life. I think Future and The Weeknd, I think their chemistry is very, very good. And that's easily a top 3 song on that album. So I got to go with Low Life. In Your Eyes versus Loft Music. This one was actually not very tough. I love Loft Music. And I kind of want to go back to what Josh was saying earlier about Loft Music and how the back end of the song is kind of like that wailing. I actually really like that.
It's good. It's good.
So it took me a couple songs or listens to really get into it, but I'm like, this is actually really solid. I like how he just kind of like lets it all out there. And what's funny is that Josh put this on his Instagram story a couple days ago. So I'm like, this is going to be a prelude. So
I did. That's right.
So Loft Music is going to make the championship. Party Monster versus Low Life. This one was very tough. But I think Party Monster edges out Low Life just because I've probably listened to Party Monster more than Low Life overall. So, and I love both songs, so I got to go with Party Monster. And then Loft Music versus Party Monster. Oh man, this one was actually very tough. But Loft Music, I can't have it get this far and just lose like that. And this is kind of like the great irony of my bracket too, because like Matt's, my weekend bracket is very much past like 2015 Weeknd. Like not a whole lot of emphasis on his earlier stuff, but there's something about Loft Music that just gets me every single freaking time I listen to that song. It is amazing. So I got to go with Loft Music. Party Monster is a worthy opponent, but Loft Music wins 78-74. Last possession of the game. Double free throws. It's a free throw battle. So I got to go with Loft Music. So yeah, that is my bracket.
Nice.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Party Monster. That song is awesome, and I've played it literally like hundreds of times. That is my go-to pre-game party song.
Yeah.
It drew an unfortunate matchup with Kissland in the first round. So
yeah. So I do want to ask Josh and Zach in particular, because you guys are more classic Weeknd fans than Matt and I. Why is Starboy not considered one of his best works? Because I feel like it's not compared to like other works like Kiss or like the trilogy and other things like that. Why is it that Starboy is not necessarily ranked as high as those among Weeknd fans?
I'd say it's because it's seen as more like poppy.
Okay.
And it doesn't really like play into like, the dark R&B aspect of it, which is what people think when they think The Weeknd.
Okay.
I mean, I love that when an artist goes through different phases and tries different things, and I really like Starboy. But I'd say that's probably the biggest reason is that like it clearly has that pop element to it, where it's not trying to impress in terms of lyricism or content. It's just like, hey, this sounds cool. It's fun to play. I think that's why. And another factor I'd say is that it's literally like 20 something songs long. Like there's so much filler on there. Even though I always enjoy the filler, but like really like is True Colors even like a real song? Like like there's just so much.
Probably not.
There's so much just like much content that didn't need to be there. But yeah, it's still awesome. And I think Beauty Behind the Madness is also similar, but not in the same way. So
yeah, I feel like Beauty Behind the Madness is kind of that bridge in between like his mainstream and then also his older stuff, from a casual viewing fan's perspective. So
Yeah, I kind of agree with Josh on that last point about too many tracks for sure. Because I think in future albums, after albums, was like I guess the next album he released basically, he kind of cut it down, and I think that's kind of perfected version what he was trying to do with Starboy.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because like what Josh was saying, he's experimenting. He's trying different things. I don't think it's bad. Like I think it's like it's a good album.
Yeah.
And if you want to play at a party, like Party Monster, like I feel like I was trashing it like earlier, saying it was not great. I think it's a good song.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just there's songs where like Reminder to me is probably the best song in the whole album, and it's like it kind of reminds me of Beauty Behind the Madness a little bit, and then definitely After Hours for sure. But yeah, Starboy's just he's trying out a lot of things, and it's kind of like throwing paint at a wall and seeing what sticks. And he had Daft Punk on a few songs, like Starboy. It's the actual song. It was really good. And it's just to me it's an okay album. It's not horrible, but he obviously could do better, and he did. So
Okay.
Yeah, I think even though I think every album is the GOAT, but every album of the Weeknd is the GOAT. But I think Beauty Behind the Madness or Starboy I'd rank towards the bottom. So
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Probably
Matt, it looks
Beauty
like
Behind the Madness.
we're the outliers, Matt.
I mean, you win some, you lose some.
And another thing, sorry.
But let me ask you guys this question: what do you think is his worst album?
Beauty Behind the Madness, I think.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Starboy.
Dang.
I know. I was hoping that question was gonna be asked.
Yeah, I wasn't too fond. Like I'm not a real huge Weeknd fan, but like the ones that stuck out to me obviously was Party Monster and Reminder. But I think like besides that, I was like hearing his previous stuff, I was expecting a little bit more, and I guess I think like somebody said like it was too poppy for me.
Yeah,
I guess I wasn't really feeling that. I didn't want that sound from him. You know what I'm saying? I wanted like the original Weeknd sound that we all know. So yeah.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Wait, go ahead, man.
No.
Ask your question, right?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was just gonna mention that if Die for You was on that bracket.
Yeah. You know what? I can't believe I left that out.
I can't believe I
song.
left that out. That's one of my favorite songs off Starboy.
Yeah.
If that song was on there, that definitely would have made at least the Elite Eight.
Yeah, one thing about Starboy, I don't know if you have seen this video, but it's not the greatest song. It's honestly kind of mid. But False Alarm, the music video is just so much fun.
Yeah, that's a great
Have you
music
seen
video.
that, Matt? Have you seen that music video?
I think so. It's probably been a while.
Watch it again tonight if you haven't. Maybe it'll be the first time. But it's I'm not gonna spoil it if you haven't seen it, but it's fun. It's not even like a music video. It's just like
I'll check it out.
I won't say what it is. It's just a lot of fun. So
bet.
Yeah, even like people who don't like The Weeknd will like that music video. So.
Okay.
All right. Well, I think that concludes this weekend bracket. That was a lot of fun. Four pretty unique brackets. Want to say thanks again to Josh and Zach for being on. Appreciate you guys. And Matt, what do we do here at Area 11?
Man, you already know.
We echo the culture.
I didn't ask you.
Hey, look, hey, guys, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you see the people responding. They know what's up, So it's good that we're starting to make some noise. And with this video, season 2 is officially underway, and we hope to just keep on pushing out this content for you guys.
Yes, sir. What the
man
man
said.
Thank
you, Kyle. Thanks for having us.
Yes, appreciate you guys having coming on. That was super fun. Zach, how was your first time on Area 11?
It was great. I know we had technical difficulties for a little bit, but I got on. So no, it was really fun, and I really appreciate it. So
yeah, of course. All right. Well, this concludes it. So hope you guys have a good evening, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And we're Area 11. Talk to you guys later.
Peace out.